Okay. Okay, so we'd like to welcome you to Fabric Chicks Live on Monday. If you're new to watching, we try to teach you something on Mondays. And Phyllis was she came in actually to spend money, and I hijacked her. And she was telling me about this great thing she was using the zippers for that you guys bought zippers on the last live for. So she came in for more zippers. So you guys might not be able to find the zippers you want anymore, but we do still have some. But she's making these cute little bags. So Roger is going to show you. Oh, maybe we should do some giveaways because we don't have too many watching right now. Okay, guys, comment and tell me where you're from. We'll do some giveaways while we wait for some people to. Hi, Sherry. Okay, Sherry, you're the first one. So I'm going to put, we've got trims here, a bundle of trims for Sherry. Okay, let's see. Hi, Cindy Gygax. Okay, wait, I'm just gonna start putting, oops, that one doesn't have a name on it. Okay, I'm gonna start putting your girls' names on it. Where are you guys from? You know, all that good stuff. Did you have a good weekend? Roger and I went to the rodeo last night. Super fun. Okay, here is in Jack's memory. Oh, I'm gonna have to see first. One of you would have to really want this because that is a quilt. That's a quilt that's pretty specialized. So if you want the airplane quilt, type that in. Hey, Lisa, how are ya? And Jane from Kentucky. Thank you, Dorothy. It was amazing. You'll have to come do the hike with me. It kicked my butt. Like I literally could not move for a day. Like I had to get in the shower and soak. My feet hurt literally for a day and a half. You think 7 miles isn't that much, but 7 miles up 2,000 feet is quite a bit. So we were at probably 7,500 elevation at the top. So that's quite a hike. Anyways, okay. All right, Christy Lee. Christy Lee. Hey, Christy, would you like the pattern? Hey, Christy, you want the pattern? She's got it typed in capital letters 5 times. I want it. Okay. And Max left me in the dust. Max literally ran circles around me. Okay. All right, Dorothy. One of these times when we're together, we'll go for a hike because I love to hike. Lynn says that's a hard hike. I know. It was exhausting. And then when you get to the bottom, you have to walk through the town to get back to your car. Luckily, Roger came to save me because that last mile back to my car would have killed me. He saved me. He drove me to my car, and then we got hamburgers from the food truck. So it was worth it. All right. Do you have the gnomes that was on the yes. Sherry, I have that. It's a kit. It's $34.95 for the entire kit. Okay. Kathleen says she was exhausted just looking at the pictures. I know it was a rough hike, but it was fun. And it was kind of good to be all by myself. Hi, Claire. Nice to see you. So for those of you who don't know, Claire is Christy Lee's mother-in-law. So it's fun to have you join, Claire. Hi, Joyce. Okay, so today we have Phyllis, who usually is behind the big pile of stuff, scribing your orders from the Wednesday sale. But today, she mistakenly, I think, came into the shop to buy some stuff and told me about it. So you want to show them your little pouches? She's going to show you her cute little pouches. They are adorable. They literally take you 5 seconds to sew up. So she is going to do a demo on how to make these cute little pouches. And how to sew in a zipper, super easy. So you want me to just turn it over to you?
Sure.
And she said she's never stopping at the shop again.
Your sales are zilch.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to first I'm going to show you what you need. 4 5-inch squares of fabric and a 5-inch square of batting and a 7-inch or longer zipper. And plastic is preferable because it isn't very pretty to sew your sewing machine over metal teeth. So I prefer plastic or poly or nylon or whatever they make those zippers out of. Okay. So, oh, and you can also take a 10-inch square, cut it up in 4 pieces, and you have enough parts plus a zipper and a batting.
That's kind of funny that a 10-inch square would equal 4 or 5 inches. Yes. So,
Yeah.
girls, you don't always have to buy pre-made charm packs. You can bust through your stash. Although everybody thinks it's going to bust through their stash, it really doesn't. It just means you got to get a lot of different fabrics out of your stash and then fold them back up nicely.
Okay. Now, to make a pouch, you're going to need 2 pieces for the top, 1 piece for the bottom, and 1 piece for the lining. So that's your 4 pieces. All right. And I'm going to decide that these 2 are going to be my tops. And I'm going to take them to the ironing board.
So if you use the same one, then you have it matching tops. But if you wanted to use different ones, they would be coordinating but accent each other.
Right. I could mix and match these 2 together. But because I'm the person I am.
Yeah, so here's one where she mixed and matched maybe. But it could have just been the fabric.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, you take them and you decide which side you want showing and what you don't.
Here, I'm just
Doesn't
gonna
really
scooch this
matter
a little
on
bit
these
so they can see it.
multicolored fabrics, but you're going to press both of these right sides together. Carefully.
It's a lot harder when you're demoing and people are watching.
Yeah,
I know.
I know. And then you're going to have 2 halves like this. Right sides together.
Yes, Mary Beatty, we are holding Phyllis prisoner.
Yeah.
And Roger.
And poor Roger. Okay, you take your 2 halves and you take your zipper face up. And you take one of your halves and you slip your zipper in here right up to the fold. I mean, right against the fold.
Lynn says, we're doing this on the fly. Very good presentation. Great job, Phyllis.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, poor Roger, Mo. We all feel for Roger.
Okay, now some people might prefer pins or glue. It's such a short distance. I always just kind of hold it.
She wings it.
I wing it because after I did 11 of them yesterday, I said, hey, I don't need pinning. But watch, it'll slip while I'm sewing.
So you have a special foot on there?
I have my 1/4-inch foot on.
So if they don't have a zipper foot, they can still do this?
No, you don't need a zipper foot at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Okay.
Christy Lee says you're doing a great job.
Tell her I'm nervous. All right. So I'm going to sew 1/4 inch all the way down, making sure my zipper stays right up against that fold.
Oh, because the tape of the zipper is 1/4 inch.
Well, I use my 1/4-inch foot no matter what because I can't sew a straight line
Okay.
without it
And she's really a perfectionist.
most of the time. Because if it doesn't fit all the way to the edge, then of course it's not going to be the same distance from the teeth.
Oh, Faith says this is her first time watching this live. She's excited to see it. So Faith, we try to teach you something every Monday at 4 o'clock. And then we do have a free Zoom on Sundays. This Sunday, we're going to be doing a Christmas tree, a basket, and a something else. Oh, a wine bag.
Now this is an oops. So what I'm going to do is go back because see it didn't stay at 1/4 inch while I was sewing because I was too nervous. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to make it make it go to a 1/4 inch.
So it's pretty forgiving.
Yeah, because you can do it twice.
That's good because all of our watchers need stuff that's forgiving.
Okay, now I'm going to flip it over and see if it looks all right. Good enough for government work. Like that. So now I'm going to flip this piece back. And that's going to be half of the top of the pocket or the bag. Then I'm going to take my other folded piece and I'm going to put it on this side of the zipper. Same way. A little trickier though, because you've got to line up with the fabric on the other side.
That's what makes it fully lined and pretty on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And you don't have to use a zipper foot.
Okay, Lynn wants to know, are you doing a 1/4 inch in from the teeth or from the fold?
From the fold.
From the fold, Lynn, from the fold.
Okay. So I'm going to hold that as tight as I can. Make sure it stays right into that crease. And these are approximately the same, you know, good enough for.
Oh dear. Mary says, Beth, please bargain with Phyllis. I want her sweater blouse. Please, please, please. Did you get that at especially for you?
Uh-huh.
So Mary, you can get that at especially for you. It's a super cute little boutique shop right down the street from us. If you come to visit me, we'll lock the doors and tell them we're on a family emergency.
But I'd be willing to sell it for a price.
Oh, Phyllis will sell anything for a price.
Now you can use needle down if you like. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I'm going to poke my finger in there and just make sure that this is right up against the fold again. And I found that pins got in my way, so I stopped using pins. It's just better to feel through the fabric.
So if you wanted to make a bigger pouch, you could use 10-inch squares, or you could use anything.
Mm-hmm.
I know Dorothy did some math earlier, and if you have a fat 1/4, you can make 3 pouches. So it's a really quick and easy gift, so you girls can start making things to give. This would be a great gift to give your girlfriend when you're going to meet her for Starbucks, or if you want to do Christmas gifts early.
Okay, now I prefer to edge stitch or top stitch it just because I think it's a little tidier.
It gives it a professional look.
If you sew straight. Otherwise you're dead. But I press it first. Just a little bit to get it. And if it's not quite perfect, you can stamp it into submission with your iron. Now, because I have a Bernina and I speak Bernina-ese, I'm going to put on my number 5 foot. And that's a little edge stitch foot.
So does that just help you go straighter?
Yeah, because it's got a little.
What if they did like a little like decorative stitch? Would that work?
You could. Any kind of stitch along there you want.
Okay. So a lot of times, girls, because I don't sew very straight, I'll use that little curvy stitch.
I could do that.
Yes, because then it doesn't matter if you're sewing straight or not.
But the thing is, when you use a foot like this, I'm going to move my needle over 3 ticks.
It is a pretty gift card holder. And Dorothy says, yes, press. Your iron and your seam ripper are your best friends. I have a love-hate relationship with my seam ripper.
Okay, now I'm going to just top stitch along here, and this little foot just holds right up against the ridge of the folded fabric. There's my foot. There it is. And I'm using orange thread. I did all of those little packets with orange thread.
Mary Beatty, pressing/beating into submission is always good.
Yeah, this is not going to be perfect because I'm doing it with an audience, and that's not a straight line. Now,
People don't realize how hard that is.
I know, but I'll probably take it apart and remake it. But I don't want to waste the time now.
I think it's going to be perfect. I would not take it apart and remake it. Nobody but you will know it's not perfect.
Well, maybe.
A seam ripper is reverse sewing, and they're all saying you're doing a great job.
Well, now see, here's what I'm talking about. This is not good at all. Right here, that's terrible. This is much better. So if I had the time right now, I'd rip that out and redo it. But I'm not going to, so pretend it's like this side.
So Mary, I'm pretty sure, is going to say, Phyllis, if you don't like it, she'll take it because it's good enough for us. Me and Mary would be thrilled with it.
Okay, now I'm going to unzip this zipper before I forget.
So this is a key point, people. You want to unzip the zipper a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to cry later on in this.
Because then you won't be able to open it or turn it inside out. All right, next thing you're going to do is put your...
Peggy says she would take it too.
Oh, okay. This is going to be my lining. So I'm going to put the lining face down. Then I'm going to stack my batting on top of that. Straight, if I can get it straight. And then I'm going to put this is going to be the back of the pouch. So out of the two of them, I picked the prettiest one I like for the backing.
For the bottom?
Yeah, for the bottom.
Okay. So right now she's creating the bottom piece. That's where you're going to put your batting.
Okay. Now I'm going to take this, and I don't worry about the threads because when you cut this thing, it's going to cut them all off anyway. All right, now I'm going to put this right sides together, zipper facing down, open. This isn't straight enough for me. Okay. And I'm going to put all the corners together. Now you can pin if you want, but I discovered while I was doing these that if you do the zipper first, or if you sew right over the zipper where it's open first, pretty much all the rest of the corners are going to match up.
That kind of stabilizes it.
Yeah. Now
Lynn Bonner says she didn't realize you were such a perfectionist because you just sit behind the piles so quiet. The piles of stuff when you're writing stuff down. Oh. There's a lot you don't know about Phyllis. Phyllis at one point, girls, we need the photo. At one point, Phyllis had Bo Derek braids.
You have the photo.
I'm going to have to find it and show it to him.
Yeah.
She was like Bo Derek, like running across the beach. Remember when she had the braids like this? Phyllis had those. Mm-hmm. And she lived in a trailer for 2 years while she built her house.
2.5 years.
2.5 years. And when she felt sorry for herself, she would go read pioneer books.
All the women that crossed the plains in a covered wagon and how much they suffered. I thought, well, I guess I can do this. I at least had hot water.
Yeah. You had a lot of modern conveniences that they did not have. You had a flushing toilet.
Well, sort of, yes. In a trailer. Uh-huh. But I didn't have to do septic tank duty. Or
no, that would be a man's job for sure.
Bill's job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so while she's getting that lined up, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Zoom class on Sunday. So Sunday from 1 to 3, we have a free Zoom class. You just have to join Fabric Chick Stitch Along. Christy's going to post it right now, the link. So pretty please, Christy. So that you guys know where to go to join. And this week we're focusing on these 3 projects. So if you don't already have the kit, we can send you the link for the pattern and you can use stuff out of your stash because you probably won't get it unless you order it today, and then we could get it to you. But if it doesn't ship tomorrow morning, it's probably not going to make it there for Sunday. So we're going to be working on these 3 projects for 2 Sundays. We try to have something kind of project oriented to get you girls sewing. It's free. And then what else are we doing? Are you ready? Oh, Phyllis is ready. Okay.
Okay, what I did is I already switched back to my 1/4 inch foot. And I took away because I had changed the needle position. Don't forget to do that because when you change your foot, you might break your needle if you haven't put it back in the center position. But
They keep telling me to give you some clips. Do you like those
oh,
clips?
I like clips too, but I did them all without any pins.
It's different when everybody's watching you.
I know. My hands are shaking. Okay. Now I went over the zipper, so that's the hardest part is where the zipper is open because it wants to stay open and not closed. So now I'm going to go around all 4 corners.
Great. Dorothy says that grunt. Roger possibly objects to the man being assigned septic tank duty. No, I'm pretty sure that would be his job.
It always is.
Yes, Faith, you can come by and get one. I have one left. Linda ABC, it is in your box that's getting ready to ship. Roger just put it into the system. All we need to do is print you a label, so they'll pick that up first thing tomorrow. Betsy, I'm gonna have to double check, but I'm almost positive you had a kit in your package that mailed to you. 1 to 3 is the Sunday Zoom. And Sunday Zooms are always free. Okay, Betsy, I'm writing a note to double check, but I'm almost positive the answer is yes. And yes, the Infinity Cuddle Scarf class is a free Zoom on Thursday from 4 to 6. She said if any of you don't have it done, she will stay a little bit longer to make sure you get your scarves done. How do I get the pattern?
Okay, now I'm going to flip it over and double sew it just so it reinforces all the edges that are kind of close. Now, normally I'd be a little more picky about it, but since you guys don't seem to care.
Because they're not perfectionists.
But
Monica, we can email you the pattern.
So I just flipped it over and I'm sewing in the same path where my other stitches are, just to reinforce it all. Or you can zigzag, or you can do whatever you want.
The best place to search for spools, probably eBay, I hate to say, but don't really worry too much because I think that on Sunday, people will have a lot of different ideas on different ideas for the tree. Jane, I'm with you. Done is perfect. Ooh, Linda has a Kai seam ripper. She says it's a lifesaver. So fast at ripping out. I honestly try to never rip out if I can at all avoid it. eBay's expensive. Girls, I'm gonna see if I can find some things. I have some little twigs, like stump twigs that I've collected on my walks. So I'm gonna see if those are big enough, if they're a good proportion. Sometimes you just have to go to like Michael's and get creative, go through their different sections and just think outside of the box. What would be good? Okay, Phyllis is on to the next step. She's sewn around it twice.
Now I'm going to trim it.
Phyllis, they would like you to teach more classes. The dollar store is also a really, really good place to look for things. I am always finding weird things there that I use for totally different purposes.
And this is also why you want to use a plastic or nylon or whatever they make them out of, not poly, the zippers, because
You don't want to wreck your good.
you don't want to wreck
blades.
your blade cutting over a metal zipper.
But you could use your paper zip or your paper scissors. That they're not really too hard to cut over.
No, not really.
But if you can find the plastic, that's better.
But I end up just trimming it off, and in doing so, it ends up cutting off all your your stray threads, and I have to see what I'm doing here so I don't overcut it.
The dollar store has a craft section now. Yeah, you can find stuff. Betsy says a covered tomato paste can. Christy, can you put the link for the Christmas pattern so everybody can access it? A candlestick would be perfect. Especially you can find those cheap like crystal candlesticks. I bet you could find those at the dollar store. Those would be really pretty. And then on my Christmas tree, I'm going to put like a bunch of the junk vintage jewelry on it. Because I remember my grandma having a Christmas tree with like all of her old jewelry on it. I think the candlestick's a perfect idea. I'm almost positive you can get those white, cheap crystal ones at the thrift store.
Okay, I'm sewing over this corner because I cut it too close.
Okay. So it's a very forgiving project.
Absolutely.
If you cut too close, just sew it again. So girls, I wouldn't get too stuck on having to have the wooden spool for the Christmas tree. I think that people are going to have a lot of different ideas on Sunday.
Okay.
She's just reinforcing around the outside edge.
Okay, now you open your zipper as far as you can with your skinny little fingers. And I'm ready to turn it. And I have to have my handy dandy chopstick.
So what do you use a chopstick for?
To push the corners out.
Oh my gosh, even Roger knows that.
Isn't that amazing?
That's a pretty fancy chopstick.
Yeah,
Mine are like wooden freebies from
the
sushi store.
Sushi store.
Yes.
But this one I don't remember where I got it, but I had two of them and
It's really pretty.
it works better than anything.
So the tape measure around her neck happens to come from Fabric Chicks. If you girls need it, we have it in a bright color and in the muted color, which is the one she's wearing.
Or the black and white.
Yes. Oh yeah, we have a black and white one that we had on sale last week. Yeah, that would be cute too.
Okay, there's your pouch.
Ann says, Roger, right again. Do you trim the corner?
No.
The corners, you don't trim them?
No.
But you trimmed the whole thing pretty narrow.
Pretty
about
narrow.
an eighth of an inch or less.
Yeah. You can see that it's pretty narrow in there. And when you open it, you don't really see those seams.
No.
So you could hide your earbuds or your extra set of keys or
Business cards or
cards.
your receipts. If you're really organized and you save your receipts, that would be great. Or if you wanted to give out gift cards to your grandkids, you could put them in a little bag. They could fit, if they're tweeners, they could fit their chapstick and different things. You could make them in manly colors, and I think men could use them just as well. Would you use one, Roger, if I made it in manly colors?
If it was a Raider emblem or something.
Only a Raider emblem?
Marine Corps emblem.
Okay, I'm going to have to talk to Rochelle about getting some Raider fabric. Okay, so Phyllis, that was an amazing tutorial. They all loved it. They want to know if we can get you scheduled for every Monday at 4 o'clock.
oh, you have to be
Oh,
joking, my
Christy Lee, she said it's the perfect size to hide her little vodka bottles. Or your fireball shots, huh, Peggy Cato? I know you have a plethora of fireball shots. So you could totally fit those in there too. Dorothy says, nice. Thank you, Phyllis. I use a porcupine quill to poke out my corners. Where do you get a porcupine quill?
I don't know.
From a porcupine.
Oh, Roger, right, once again.
But if you have a whole bunch of spare zippers,
Right.
and you use a multicolored fabric like this stuff, I just used any zippers I had in the house.
And you used all orange thread, so you didn't have to change your threads.
Right. So I did all 10 of them in a row.
And look at, you really don't notice because there's orange in all of them. Roger's getting a real good close up there. Ann says she liked the demo things. So once again, if you wanted to make a bigger pouch, you could use a 10-inch square, or you could put two fat quarters together. So if they, and I'm just wondering, putting you on the spot because I have questions. So if they were to, look, I'm undoing her work. So if they were to use a bigger one and they wanted to make it boxy, could they just sew a corner here? You could sew a corner here, and that would make it more of a box, kind of like we did for the box exchange.
Like this kind of a corner.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the way you put the zipper in was way easier than we did the zippers for the bag exchange.
Absolutely.
Yes. That is the easiest. So for me, I've never really done zippers. That is my kind of zipper. Okay. Raylene says it was so fun. She has to watch it again. It was storming and she missed the start. I think she just was late to class.
Yeah.
If you can make a bigger pouch, you can box the corners. Yeah,
Yes.
you could do it here too,
Yeah,
but
it would
it's
be
just
a
gonna make it a
tiny-
small, real small.
A tiny little
But it'd be
box.
perfect for your earbuds, or like if you were giving somebody a pair of earrings, it'd be great for that.
Or your pills if you're
Yeah.
older.
Oh yeah, your pills, and you don't need to have them like marked in what day they are. Yes. Okay, they all said they love it. They're going to make them right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They love you, Phyllis, of course.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Much easier way of putting in a zipper.
Yes.
So how did you figure that out?
I have to give credit to Rochelle.
From Rochelle's Fine Fabrics?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I bought one of her patterns on making a purse.
Yes.
And I made the purse, and that's how she put the.
Oh,
I said,
and I will tell you, if you can take a class from Rochelle, take one. Because if there's an easy way to do it, Rochelle will figure it out.
well, she sold me one of those cute little evening bags, and you buy the sequins to put on it.
Oh, fun.
And
Fun.
anyway, but that's how she put the zipper in. So I made a couple of the purses, and I said, oh,
Perfect.
this
Yeah.
zipper is just ingenious.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very slick. Okay, Beth, don't pick on Raylene. I wasn't picking on her. I was just stating a fact. The Zoom link, Christy just posted it there for you, Monica. That's the Zoom link. You can go to, it's actually not the Zoom link itself. Because I haven't created that yet. We post that in Fabric Chick Stitch Along. So join the Fabric Chick Stitch Along group, and that's where we post all of the links to Zoom. So it kind of keeps the creepy people out. She got her quill years ago at Pacific International. Huh. Well, you'll have to put a picture of it on the Fabric Chick Stitch Along. Rochelle's Fine Fabrics. Mary, I've interviewed her before. She's the one that always wears the crazy scissor headband. Her husband was here before the Reno show, stuffing goodie bags for us. Okay, so we're gonna pick a few winners. That's all we have for today. We're gonna send Phyllis home to find us other fabulous, fun, quick projects. Don't worry, Phyllis. It always gets easier.
Yeah.
The first one's the hardest. I know. When we first started doing these Facebook Lives, I would like get anxiety before. Now it's just, you guys tune in. You obviously love us, even when we make mistakes. Okay, so we're gonna scroll. Just did her cork project bag. So easy. Okay, Peggy, you're gonna have to show us. Or we could have, oh, you know what maybe we should do is have Rochelle teach a Zoom class. So then you guys can pick her brain for all her knowledge. Would that be fun?
Mhm.
Now that you've done a pattern from her, would you like her to do a Zoom class?
Sure.
Okay, I'll talk to Rochelle about doing a Zoom class, guys. Have a great rest of your day. They're almost to New Mexico, headed to Oklahoma City. Raylene, I don't even know how you're doing it. I am glad you are you and I am me and I am here at home. Phyllis, you're a great instructor. Great job, all friends here. No reason to be nervous. I know, Lynn. Great job, great demo. Okay, so we're gonna just scroll and pick some. Roger, can you scroll the comments or you want me to?
I don't know.
Okay, so here we have a horse pattern. Carolyn Gavernich gave us a bunch of stuff for freebies.
Lynn Bonner.
Okay, Lynn Bonner, I don't think she's going to want a horse pattern, but I'm just going to put your name here. And then if you don't want it, just say so and we'll give it to somebody else. Okay, and then I have a cute little peekaboo bunny stacking cups. So it makes a bunny and then a bunch of little cups.
Linda ABC.
Linda ABC. Ooh, that's right up Linda's alley. Linda ABC. Okay. And then who else do we have?
Jane Massengale.
Okay, Jane Massengale, you have a Love My Stash quilt pattern. And then some of you girls I'm waiting on. So we have the starter kits for the quilt with Virginia Robertson, this big quilt. Although that seems overwhelming, you can always start with the smaller version and then just make as many blocks as you want, make it as big as you want. But we're waiting. Free Spirit is out of all their pre-cuts. So it's kind of sad, but we'll be fine. We'll just have to make do until we can get them. Okay, Carol, Christy will accept you. You can always have Peggy on as a guest too. I know. Peggy just co-hosted last Wednesday with me. She's like an expert. She can talk to anybody about anything. Okay, then we have a jean denim circles pattern going to
Peggy Cato.
Oh, Peggy Cato. Look at that. Peggy Cato. Okay, and then we have a kitty cat. Oh, it looks like it's
Mary Vitti.
Mary Vitti. Oh, it is a pattern. I was going to say it looks like a card, but it's a pattern. We would give Phyllis one of these wonderful door prizes, except for that half of them are from her. So a lot of times I end up giving them to somebody and then they're like, no, I gave it to you. Give it to somebody else. Linda ABC. So what you got is the starter kit. No, you don't want to order any more right now. It's the starter kit. It's going to get you really, really far. It doesn't have the sash borders because you might not want red. You might want purple. You might want something different. So the starter kit's just going to give you a good start. It will be more than you need for a while. You'll pull some things from your stash because you might want to go more green or more yellow or more whatnot, but it's going to be a good start. Where is Penny? Who knows? Penny's really busy. Okay, we've got another winner, heart and star wall hanging.
Carolyn Gavernich.
I think these were from Carolyn. Carolyn, let me know if this was from you. If this was from you, we'll pick somebody else. Okay, and then I have Tutti Frutti, a cute little baby pattern going to
Kathleen Rader.
Kathleen Rader. And remember, guys, so these are all things that people have donated when they've cleaned out their stash. So if there's anything you don't want, just say, hey, I don't want it. Nobody's going to get their feelings hurt. Like Lynn said, give the horse pattern to somebody else. Did you have somebody else for a horse pattern?
Ann Lindenmeyer.
Ann Lindenmeyer. So some things, like we had a really nice dress pattern for a dress from like 1806. That one kept going around and around and around forever. Okay, so then I have favorite companions.
Monica Esau.
Okay. Esau. Okay, and just so you guys know, all the goodies go into your baskets and we ship them when we ship out other stuff.
Lynn Jenkins.
Okay, Lynn Jenkins, you've got an encompassed heart. Carolyn says, give it to somebody else. Okay, Carolyn.
Rosalind Brainard.
Rosie. Okay. And then we have an art fabric studio. It's a lily pad pincushion.
Bessie Peterson.
Betsy Peterson. That looks like it. That looks like it belongs in Dorothy's house. Okay, and then we have. Oh well, this looks like it belongs in Dorothy's house also. We have a Curious Kitty stained glass.
Christy Lee.
Christy Lee. Okay, and Christy, I seen all your texts today, but I haven't had any time to get to them because it's just been me. Well, then Roger came, so then thank God, and then Phyllis came. Okay, wait, I got some more goodies. So the next one is a fun little stained glass. Looks like it was started but not finished.
Dennis Solly.
That's Sherry. Okay. And then the frog pincushion was fun to make. Hope you like it, Betsy. And Christy Lee says give it to somebody else. Oh, okay. Okay, pick another winner for the Halloween kitty cat.
Cindy Gygax.
Cindy Gygax. Oh, I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need new. I should buy stock and Sharpies. This one's dead. Okay. Make it and bring it to rip and stitch. Okay. Hey Victor, how are you? Okay, so I've got a pattern for a cute little fall quilt. You can put any panel in the center. So really it's the leaves.
Leslie
so the pattern
Saylor.
is for this. Basically, you can put any panel or any piece of focal fabric in the center. But the leaves are really pretty slick. Who's that?
Leslie
I know who you.
Okay.
Okay, Leslie. And then we've got, well, we can save these for, I know, poor Victor, he just joined, and we're getting ready to leave. So we're not going to do a sale on Wednesday just because we're going to be up in Reno. So we should be back in time to do something. So I'm not sure what, we'll have some kind of a demo or something. Victor's at a hotel downtown. They had a fire next door yesterday. Yikes. Well, I hope everybody's safe, Victor. It's life is just kind of crazy right now. Okay, so that is all we have, Phyllis. We want to thank you so much for your wonderful demo. So, Victor, you can go back and you can watch Phyllis demoed how to make these cute little pouches. So you can put your earbuds in them. You can put a gift certificate in them. You can put a pair of earrings. You can put endless things inside of them. If you want to make them bigger, just use a bigger piece of fabric. The technique will still work. So set Phyllis up to do another demo on Wednesday. Phyllis,
Wednesday.
That's what
you're not going to be here.
that's what Lynn says. Okay, so that's all we have. We will talk to you guys on Wednesday. Go sew something, get some sewing done, so that you won't feel guilty and you can buy more stuff. All right, see you guys later. Carolyn's going to Disneyland. You will definitely not miss a sale because we can't pull it together. All right, have a good night. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.